Hey, yeah, we in the front row and it's so live.
Shout out to In the Front Row.
You'll see some of those highlights from Montrez and everyone throughout their
Baby,
drilling.
Front Row the best.
Now we in the front row. Hey, hey, thank you for tuning in to the show.
Appreciate
Now
you
we
live
ballin',
and showing
homie,
the
you
world.
already know.
Keep it going, Jermaine
It's going
Jackson.
down, everybody so hype. High school to the pros. Now we in the front row. Now we in the front row. Yeah, now you in the front row.
How does it feel?
Feels good. You know,
Row and it's so live. Got the best view, VIP courtside. It's going down, everybody so hype. High school to the pros. Now we in the front row. Hey, hey, thank you for tuning in to the show. Hey, hey, now we ballin', homie, you already know. Hey, it's going down, everybody so hype. High school to the pros. Now we in the front row.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the In the Front Row YouTube channel. We are excited to be back. I'm your host, Dylan. Shereen and Fredo are alongside with me for this video. Welcome, guys, and we are going to get into Game 7 between the Clippers and the Nuggets. The Clippers held a 3-1 series lead, but the Nuggets came back and even won Game 7, 104-89 to advance to the Western Conference Finals. They will take on the Lakers beginning Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT. But we have to talk all about Game 7 because I guess we just have to.
We do. We can start, though, by dancing about the Lakers.
Yes.
I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
LeBron the king. And, you know, I finally am starting to like LeBron. I mean, on my team, I've always liked him as a person.
You're saying you're finally starting to like the move to the Lakers?
I'm just happy we're in the playoffs. We won decisively in that last game, and now we can talk about the Clippers.
Yes, the Lakers had a decisive Game 5 victory to advance over the Rockets. That's a whole other conversation with the Houston Rockets exiting in the second round again.
I told you.
But speaking of a team that exited in the second round again, the Clippers' curse continues. I believe it'll be 50 years now that the Clippers have not made the Western Conference Finals. Shireen, we're going to come to you because Fredo has a lot to say. We'll come to you first.
I was wrong. I said Clippers, and I was right about the Lakers. Lakers in 5. I said Houston would choke and they would win only the first game, and I was right about that. But then I said the Clippers in 5, and then I re-estimated 6. And then that was it. That's the end of it. The Clippers just fell apart. I think it was a coaching thing. The shots weren't going in. When they were ahead by 20, why didn't you just leave those players in? Why does he have to put the stars back in? Don't you want to win? I mean, the person that was hustling more than anybody was Pat Beverly and Montrezl Harrell. Those two guys were scoring and hustling. They wanted it. But I didn't see Paul George wanting it. I didn't see they weren't hustling. I was on. They just kind of like, okay, with 6-7 minutes to go, they just gave up. It seemed like they gave up where, you know, the game before that, the Heat and the Celtics, they went to overtime. Everybody was hustling. Everybody wanted to win. That was a fun game. And the Heat won.
Yep, it was a fun game to watch. The Heat won Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Montrezl Harrell finished with 20 points. He did play well. Yep, from my article I wrote in the Game 7 preview, I said him and Lou Williams both have to step it up. Montrezl's average in points at least was down about 8 points per game compared to the regular season.
And Lou wasn't hitting.
To the postseason, Lou Williams' points was down 5.
Paul George missed 2 or 3 three-pointers at the end of the game.
Yeah, Montrezl.
Too late by then.
Yeah, Montrezl at least stepped up. Fredo, we will come to you because I know you have a lot to say about the Clippers exiting early in the playoffs or earlier than expected. Your reaction.
Your head is really big.
I'm not even going to ask a question. I'm just going to let you talk.
Yeah. So, okay. So, guys, let me get this.
Now we can hear you.
So, now, I just want everybody to relax, sit down, and listen for a second, okay? Because I was not scared to say this 2 weeks prior to when I told you guys it was 0-0. That the Clippers will find a way to lose this series. And after 3-1, everybody in the whole world was like, okay, we're getting Lakers, we're getting the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. But that is total BS. That is a fraud. Why? Because Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, the best duo in the freaking NBA, according to everybody in the world.
That we wanted on the Lakers, by the way.
Right. We did at one point, but that did not come together thanks to so many other reasons, and Magic Johnson as well, which I'm going to bring up his name in a bit. But, you know, we look at this, and in 50 years, I told you guys this a couple of days ago when we recorded our last show, I am not going to bet on 50 years of Clippers history. Why? I've been here to watch these Clippers meltdowns for the past 20-some years that I've been alive. And I've seen it happen. The last time it happened in 2015 with the Houston Rockets. Well, they were up the same time, 3-1. Then they lost 3 in a row. And they lost the series with James Harden and those guys back in the days 5 years ago. And just looking at Kawhi Leonard choking, Paul George choking in the fourth quarter. They went 0 for 10 to start in the 6 minutes to start in the fourth quarter. They shot 0 for 10. If the pressure is on you, then you got to show up. A guy like Kawhi Leonard, who everybody said, oh, Kawhi is the best player in the world. Kawhi just beat the Golden State Warriors. Kawhi beat the Golden State Warriors without a Klay Thompson and without a Kevin Durant. He made a crucial shot in the second round of the playoffs against Philadelphia when he made a little jumper and it bounced 50 times on the rim. If it wasn't for that shot, he would never have been there. So let's throw that shit out the freaking door about Kawhi Leonard being the best player in the NBA, because that shit goes out the door after what he just did in this game. And this is something I want to bring up.
But he didn't do.
Yeah, look, check this out. He shot 6 for 22 in 44 minutes of play. You are the best player in the world, and you shoot 6 for 22.
Why isn't he driving to the basket? Why isn't everybody driving to the basket? Why was everything from the outside?
It's a curse, Shereen. Like, you've seen it. You've been alive for
I've seen
most of the time.
Yes, I have been alive for 50 years.
So if we look at that, that is the biggest meltdown in NBA history.
Did you see Ballmer's face?
I was laughing when I saw his face, Shereen. I was laughing.
Even bigger than the Warriors meltdown 3-1 in the 2016 NBA
Okay, that's a whole different thing right there, because if you look and rewind to Game 5, when LeBron kicked Draymond in the nuts, and I want to say this, he kicked him in the nuts, and then Draymond kicked him, and they suspended him, which that should not have happened. And if it would have been in Game 6, it would have been a whole different deal. But whatever it is, Kyrie hit a big shot. That's back in 2016. But right now, in 2020, the Los Angeles Clippers choked 3-1, and they lost it. Just like I said, and like I told you, Dylan, I'm ready for my dinner. I think I know what I want. I'm going to tell you.
Maestros.
And I would love Shereen to be invited to this dinner, and I want her to be there. I want Dustin to be there. I hope Dustin is somewhere around there behind you right now, hiding.
He's not, unfortunately, but
where is he?
He's not here.
He's hiding.
He's hiding. He should be, because right now my phone has been buzzing. Everybody, I have so many Laker fans just telling me, like,
look, we have never gotten so much reaction that we did from that little snippet you guys put up on Instagram, where you said in 50 years, you know, and I'm telling you, basketball players, pro basketball players were liking it, that follow us on the front row. So,
so it was just amazing.
I do want to say the sixth man did show up, but his team did not.
Yes, Montrezl Harrell had a terrific Game 7. Give me the floor for a second here.
Hey, Dylan, I'm not done, so you better give it back.
I will. Okay, the wheels fell off the wagon. Definitely when the Clippers were up 3-1. I think a possibility of the Clippers possibly looking forward to the Lakers. Remember, at that point, the Lakers either had a commanding lead in their series and advanced during their series when they did have a commanding lead against the Denver Nuggets. I think the Clippers, I don't know if it had to do with coaching. I don't know if it had to do with maybe a lack of leadership. I think the Clippers...
It's not chemistry. Come on.
Yeah, look.
I don't buy that at all.
Well, I don't know what the issue was, but they looked too far ahead, I think, to the Lakers. Everyone's been talking about it all season, and I think that could have tripped them up.
It's the lemon pepper wings.
Yeah. Kawhi Leonard last year, he's still developing, I want to say, into being the alpha. And that's what I think last year, like Fredo said, I will give it to you, Kawhi Leonard. They played a Warriors team that was heavily injured, heavily deflated. And then when he was in San Antonio, he had a lot of surrounding talent around him when he won.
But you got to admit, they won a lot of games this year. They just folded in the playoffs.
They folded. But
which happens in Houston, too.
Yeah, but if you're Kawhi Leonard and you're Paul George and you're being paid $30 million plus,
I agree.
You need to step it up when it comes to the fourth quarter, and you are trailing. Jokic and Murray wanted it more. And that's what it came down to. The Clippers.
Jokic, he's the MVP if they win the whole thing.
Yeah, the Clippers were kind of, letting Jokic play heavy in the first half. I think they were trying to limit Jamal Murray because that's where their strengths were. They didn't limit him. He had a huge second quarter, over 20.
That guy's making a name for himself. I didn't want to see Denver next.
Yeah, in the second quarter, he made a huge name for himself. But if you're Paul George and you're Kawhi Leonard, you cannot have 14 and 10 points respectively in Game 7 and go 0 for 10, as a team, 6 minutes into the fourth quarter. When your season is on the line, to advance to your first ever.
Denver couldn't miss, though, right? Yeah. Denver could not miss. Everything was going in.
Denver started. Here's another issue.
At the end of the game, when it counts, everything was going in.
Also,
swish.
Also, here's another issue. Denver was 2 for 10 when the Clippers were 0 for 10 in the fourth quarter. It wasn't like they were shooting terrifically. The Clippers could have cut into the lead. They were resting, I believe, Jokic at the end of the third quarter into the beginning of the fourth quarter. That's when the Clippers needed to make their run, and they just didn't. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George didn't attack the basket like they usually do. Paul George shot a three-pointer that went off the side of the backboard and then made a crucial turnover down the stretch. If you're a playoff P, you got to come in and you got to deliver when the time is right, I think.
So why didn't the coach just play the guys that were scoring? I do blame the coach, too.
Yeah. Oh, of course. And I think it comes down to.
And I'm coming after Doc Rivers too.
You have three. Yeah, you have 3 games possibly to eliminate Denver, and you got to give credit to Denver for being so relentless. For Jamal Murray, he kicks it up late in series. We saw it against Utah. He scored 250 and 140-point game. They won
the 6th game sitting out their stars.
Yeah. Denver.
They have depth. Yeah. They have a motor because they're young. They don't run out of.
Yeah, Denver, a stat for you. Denver is 6-0, I believe, this postseason when it comes to elimination games. They do not fold, and they are coming against the Lakers. It's going to be interesting. Fredo, you said you have a lot to say about Doc Rivers. What's your issue with him?
I mean, I'm looking right now at Twitter. Twitter is just going crazy. And I heard this on the radio this morning with Keyshawn Johnson that mentioned, he's like, if the Clippers lose today, Twitter will be a whole different place you don't want to mess with if you're a Clipper fan or just anything. And right now it's being reported by Mark Spears, which is a very well reporter. He's saying that several Clipper players, including Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Morris, and JaMychal Green, were asking every 3 minutes during Game 7 to be pulled out for a breather during the fourth quarter.
See, I told you.
So, I mean, when you have your
own
players,
they were winded.
Yeah, so when your own players are calling out, telling like, hey, take me out, I need a breather. Like, these guys are out of gas. They are blown out. After the Denver Nuggets did what they did, I mean, honestly, Dylan, I will never, ever let you get away with this again. This is going to live. This is going to live for another year until we get to the NBA.
No, he's not going to let you let it get away with this again.
I do want to say, you're acting like I'm a Clippers fan. I am not.
I'm acting to somebody that told me from the very first day I met you. You told me Kawhi Leonard's the best player, and he
no.
Did you not tell me, Dylan?
No.
John Wall.
I will pull up the tape. Dustin.
We got plenty of tape.
Dustin said Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the NBA.
Dylan, yes or no? Did you not say the Clippers will win the championship this year? Did you not say that?
No, I said they'll get to the Western Conference. I said they'll get it. Hold on.
Wait till I pull the tape.
Let me set the record straight.
Set it straight.
Have a very good chance to win the championship, and they will get out of the Western Conference. I will admit to that.
You said it, and Shereen, I don't know if you remember,
Yeah.
We're all gonna remember.
When we were in studio, I remember they were very gung-ho, the both of them, but I don't remember if it was Dustin or Dylan.
I never picked. Wait,
Yeah, you guys look alike, so it's kind of confusing.
I never.
Identical twins. It's not easy.
Okay, I never.
Dylan.
Okay,
Try to beat Dustin, Dylan.
Wait, I never officially said the Clippers would win. I was between the Clippers.
Okay, I got you on camera twice.
Okay, so
let me defend myself.
Jamal Murray. Let's talk about what Jamal Murray told the media.
Yes, before we do, let me defend myself.
Let him defend himself.
I also said LeBron James was the best player in the NBA. I did not say you. I did not say Kawhi Leonard. That was Dustin.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's hiding. He doesn't want to come on and face it. Green, let's move on.
Okay.
So Jamal Murray came out of the press conference and drug Stephen A. and everybody.
Good job.
Everybody under the bus and said, "You will respect us. Stop talking about us the way you have been. You know, I'm here to set the record straight."
Right.
Everybody counted us out, and and I'm not used to people doing that, but he's young and they're paying attention. They're paying attention to Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, Jamal Murray, he actually really. I wrote this. I think it was after Game 4.
I didn't even know his name before this. Before.
No, I mean, the same thing because I saw Jamal being a kind of a good player, and just during the playoffs, what he did during the Utah Jazz series, it was just incredible. And then for him to continue it and actually come back being down 3-1, and just the type of play he played, especially today, he scored 40 points.
Yeah.
He only took 3 minutes off. He played 45 minutes and scored 40 points. Kawhi Leonard, who people say he's the greatest player in the world, scored only what was this? 14 points in 42 minutes. That is unbelievable for a guy.
You can't win when you're not scoring. That's for damn sure.
You can't. Okay, the Clippers have been talked about for their depth all season, but if your leading scorers can't score, you have an issue right there.
And shout out to Montrezl Harrell. He was the leading scorer with 20 points.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
And he was going for the basket. He wasn't afraid to get fouled, and everybody should have been doing that. Everybody should have been doing that.
Shereen, guess what? Montrezl Harrell is a free agent this year. He is a free agent. And Montrezl, I know you're probably
stay in LA though.
Yeah, I know you'll probably look at our feet, but I just want to let you know, Montrezl, please, you got a chance to win a ring with the Lakers. If you get a contract offer,
he'd want to play with the Lakers. Come on.
Oh, he will. You never know. You never know. There's always guys, and this is not going to be nothing against Montrezl. If he wants to win, come to the Lakers, baby. That is the best team in LA you can be in. Plain and simple.
I think my prediction is the Clippers change their name and their city. They don't call themselves the Los Angeles Clippers. They call themselves the Inglewood Igloos or the Inglewood. I don't know. The Inglewood.
The Inglewood Fellas, because apparently the Inglewood Fellas right now are a much better team than the LA Clippers right now. So might as well just take the Inglewood Fellas name. Seriously.
I don't think the Clippers will change their name. I think
they should, Dylan.
They should get rid of it.
Dylan, you better block me.
Of Donald Sterling
on right now, Dylan. You better block me on your phone.
They have a new stadium coming, a beautiful new stadium.
I do want to say, I forgot what was my train of thought.
Are we going to talk about the Heat and the Celtics at all?
Do you want to?
Are we going to talk about my Iggy getting in 6-man?
The Celtics played the game before the Clippers and Nuggets Game 7. The Heat won in overtime against the Celtics with a late block from Bam Adebayo.
Bam! Out of nowhere with the block.
On Jason Tatum, the Heat beat the Celtics to take a 1-0 series lead in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 2 is set for Thursday. Shereen, the floor is yours. Your reaction to the Heat?
Well, they went into overtime. And they look, Jimmy Butler is having his time right now. And they, you forget that, the Golden State Warriors won because they had the 6-man Iguodala on their team. And late in the fourth, they stuck. I heard Iguodala's coming in, and you don't see him. It's one of those players you don't like Alex Caruso. You don't see him. They come in. You don't see what they're doing, but the things they're doing on defense or whatever help the team. And I was very impressed by the Heat. And it was an extremely exciting game. It went down to the wire. It's the kind of game you want to see, people flying all over the. I didn't see that intensity in the Clippers game from the Clippers, but this was fun.
It was a fun game. The Heat and Celtics, I got to watch most of it. The Celtics kept taking sizable leads, and the Heat, they are relentless like the Nuggets. They would just not give up. All of a sudden, you would look up and the lead was down to 4 or 3, and you're like, wait, weren't they just up 8 or 10? Like
Right. We may see the Heat.
Yeah.
The Lakers may see the Heat in the finals.
They can score in a hurry.
We can beat Denver.
Tyler Hero, I believe, the only player.
You know what? And I said Celtics Lakers. Hopefully we get that, and it seems like it can be.
The only Tyler Hero, I do want to say.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He is a hero. He's a hero.
The second player in Miami history to have 10 straight, I believe, at least 10-point games or 20. I don't remember the exact.
No, he's another solid piece that the Heat have. And Spoelstra's a great coach on top of it. Don't forget the coaching.
Yeah. If you're standing in a statistic with Dwayne Wade for playoff basketball, and
can you believe that?
You're doing just fine.
Exactly.
Like, you are performing well. They came out relentless. I think Boston shows up for like half the series. We saw it against Toronto. They would blow them out one game, and then next game they'll come and relinquish a lead. I think Jason Tatum is still going through the trials and tribulations of being a superstar.
This one's going to 7 games.
Yeah, I think so. He did say, he didn't say, but Jason Tatum, I think he will continue to figure it out. Like I said, he's still going through the spotlight trials and tribulations. He still has some bad games, these good games. I think I don't know statistics today. I'll have to look it up and get it to you.
But he was playing hard. You know,
he
he got one or two. I mean, it was a close game. 1 or 2 shots he could have won.
Yes, Fredo, will come to you. Did you catch game 1?
Yeah, I did got a chance to catch second half of game 1, and you know, I was looking at this series and looking at the playoffs for the Miami Heat and thinking like, damn, is this finally Jimmy Butler's year to really emerge into being that player, that dog that everyone can't really look after it? And, you know, Jimmy Butler really has stepped up throughout the playoffs and really stepped up in this game, hitting those clutch shots, hitting those N1s towards the end of the game. And Boston just, you know, it just seems like sometimes they just rattled. I mean, they are a little young, and I did pick them to go into the NBA Finals. But sometimes it seems like in crucial moments like that, I think this is the time where I say Jason Tatum took a bad shot. It was towards the end of the fourth quarter where he at the 3-pointer. It could have been a much better shot. It could have been an attempt towards the basket or something. But he was way off the 3-point line. It was a contested shot. I was a bad shot. Could have been better. Probably gone to the line, get a free throw or whatnot. But, you know, Boston Celtics can be a much better team, and I still believe they can get out of the Eastern Conference and, you know, make it to the NBA Finals. But they got to go ahead and control Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is, you know, emerging into possibly being maybe a top 5 player in the league. Who knows?
Yes, Jimmy Butler, a very good end of the game. Jason Tatum still finished with 30 points and 14 rebounds, so statistically still had a very good game. He played hard. I don't mean to diss him on here. I'm just saying I still think he's going through, like Fredo said, decision-making and still adjusting to being the number 1 player on a team. He does have a good surrounding cast with Kemba Walker, with Jaylen Brown. You could continue to go on. I think the Celtics will rebound. I don't think it's –
and they've got a great coach, too, who's going to adjust.
Yeah. Yes, Brad Stevens has adjusted all playoffs. We saw with the Toronto series. It was an up-and-down series, and they ended up winning when they needed to in Game 7. It's going to be interesting. Guys, before we do, I guess, exit, I do want to get your guys' early predictions for the Western Conference Finals between the Nuggets and the Lakers. Now it's set for Thursday. So an early prediction, who wins? I know who you're picking, so how many games?
I'm gonna say that Denver wins. I'm gonna say it's gonna go 7 and Denver wins 3.
So you're saying
I'm gonna say, all right, Denver is on a roll. They have a ton of chemistry. They don't get tired out. We still have 35-year-old MVP, wonderful player King James, but he gets tired. He needs to rest. And they, you know, and they want it. You can tell that they feel it, they want it, that there's nothing to lose. So I think it goes 7, but I think the Lakers end up winning.
Fredo, your prediction?
For the Heat?
For the Lakers?
No, the Lakers and the Lakers and the Nuggets.
Oh, well, you know this one. I guess it's just a matter of how many games it's gonna be.
Right.
And
Obviously, he wasn't paying attention.
Sorry, I'm just going back and forth with people on my phone right now. Everything is just going crazy, guys.
All right, let's get you off this thing.
But I would say Lakers, to show a little respect, I would give them 6. Lakers in 6. But I think I won't be surprised if it goes 4 or 5. But just to give the Nuggets respect, I give them 6. I give them possible 2 wins because I feel like Nikola Jokic can give us some trouble. I mean, this guy was just tremendous today. He scored a triple-double by the end of the 3rd quarter. He was amazing. First ever player to ever do that in a Game 7 in the NBA playoffs. And I know Jamal Murray, depending on Jamal, we can contain Jamal. That is a key thing about this series, is containing Jamal Murray, because Lakers always have trouble against guards, and especially dominant guards. And a guy like Jamal Murray, who is healthy and just on fire right now, can give us some trouble and can possibly get 2 games for the Nuggets. But I won't be surprised if it's in 4 or 5, but I give them 6.
This is a difficult.
Well, if you think about it, AD. So we have tall people on the Lakers, right? They have the one tall player, their star. So if we can contain him, he always has a dominant. You could tell he's the one distributing the ball more than the point guards. Yeah. So I think if they get starstruck with all of our stars, that we might win in 4 or 5. I agree with Fredo.
This is a difficult decision for me. I picked against the Lakers in the 1st round. I picked against the Nuggets in both rounds. I thought the Nuggets would be a 1st-round exit, and somehow, guys, they're still alive in the Western Conference Finals. I thought the Jazz would take them out. I thought the Clippers would take them out. I'm still on the fence here. I think. Oh, are you gonna make me make a prediction?
Yes.
Of course, you're not gonna get away with it, Dylan.
Oh, this is difficult. I'm gonna say the Lakers in 6. I just, because I told myself I would not pick against LeBron James the rest of the playoffs.
Okay.
And I'm going to continue that tradition. Are we doing shout-outs again?
Yes.
Okay, guys, we're going to end it here with shout-outs. Shereen, we'll come to you ladies first. Your shout-out for this show.
Bam Adebayo, with his block, won the game for the Heat at the end. So my shout-outs to Bam. Being young in the league and showing like he has no fear. Good for him.
Fredo, your shout out?
Well, after this whole,
You're going to shout yourself out?
Yeah, I'll shout myself out, but I don't want to be that type of person. But this guy, he goes by the name of Rob Parker. I've been going back and forth with him, and he now lost a bet to me. Oh, Rob, I know you're going to be watching this. You lost a bet to me, so we did make a bet. For the people that don't know out there, we made a bet for Wingstop. He's going to take me to Wingstop, and he's going to buy me my 10 lemon pepper wings. I asked and he also asked for 10 flat lemon pepper wings if the Lakers get eliminated. And now that the Clippers got eliminated, Rob Parker, you do owe me my wings. We do work next door to
You didn't ask to go to a strip joint too?
Maybe, who knows? Hey, Rob, wherever you want to take me after this win, because you apparently did not listen. You were just like every other media member out there in the world that was called out by Jamal Murray, who just lit you guys up. And now you guys all just sit down and listen to everybody, including myself right now. And I'm telling you, Rob, I just want my 10 lemon pepper wings, maybe a beer on the side, and let's just chat it down and let's see what 2021 brings to both of us. All right, that's my shout out for the week.
Okay, guys, my shout out is going to LeBron James, and I think we saw LeBron James in
salute to you.
Yes, in playoff mode against the Rockets. The intensity just continues to rise.
And he was not happy when they won.
Yeah,
he had Mamba face on.
Yeah, he is not. He hasn't cracked a smile the entire postseason. You can see the focus, and like I told myself, I would not pick against LeBron James the rest of the playoffs. He's been doing it for 17 years now, and still continues to raise his level when he needs to, and just all the time. He's just been terrific in these playoffs, and him and Anthony Davis.
And LeBron, you need to have wine with
us. That's what I was going to say. LeBron, please have a wine video with me. I'm manifesting that. I've been manifesting that since I first joined in the front row. It's going to happen. We're going to have some nice wine together, and maybe since I'm buying Fredo dinner, he'll buy me the wine. Well, no, LeBron, not you. He makes enough money.
Before we go, I mean, I'm not a USC man. You know, for everyone that knows, I'm a UCLA guy. But Matt Leinart, former quarterback great of the USC, just tweeted and said, "This will always be a Lakers town."
Yes.
Ha, ha, ha. And it's just amazing because this will always, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know before I let you go, because I'm going on right now and I'm joining another podcast. So check the link in the bio. I'm going to go ahead and check you guys out with shout out to the Lakers Wave. I think the Lakers Wave, I'm going to go ahead and do their show afterwards. But there's no chance the Clippers will ever be anything like the Lakers are in this town. So just, I think Shereen, you said earlier, just go somewhere else. Go to San Diego.
Seattle needs a team.
Just get out of here, Clippers. You will never, ever be something in this town. Never. In 50 years, you have not done anything for your franchise.
They're going to be called the Inglewood Igloos or something.
Bomber. Sorry, guys. I'm off tonight. I'm off.
Okay.
I'm just getting ready for him to blow up my phone. I'm not scared. Guys, we have to wrap.
Love you, boy.
We have to wrap it up here on In the Front Row.
Don't
But
forget our store.
yes, a lot of basketball coming your way. We're going to talk about it as both conference finals are going. Well, one's underway and one is set to get underway.
Lakers, baby.
Yeah.
We called it.
Go shop at our store online. Shereen has some nice gear on for these.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, for these videos. Go shop
Look at that.
on the store.
Yeah, we got sweatshirts and raincoats and
You can also,
bags and
yep,
all
you can
kinds of
also,
stuff. And Dylan and Fredo have been writing a lot, and we have some new writers, so check out inthefrontrow.com as well.
check out my Game 7 preview, and it's not relevant anymore because the Clippers choked. But it's still, I guess it's a great article. Guys, also go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube so you see the videos firsthand, and hit those notifications, that notification bell, I should say, so you get a notification when they happen. Follow us on social media at In the Front Row LA. We have all of the updates for you there. You can visit our website through the Instagram link, and we continue to post as basketball, football, hockey, everything is going on right now. Fredo, Shereen, thanks for joining me. I'm Dylan. We'll see you next time.
Hey, yeah, we in the front row and it's so live.
Shout out to In the Front Row.
You'll see some of those highlights from Montrez and everyone throughout their
Hey,
drilling.
baby, Front Row the best.
Now we in the front row. Hey, hey, thank you for tuning in to the show. Hey,
Appreciate you
now we
live and
rolling